Hey guys, what is up? It's your boy Vertex, and today we're going to be doing another story time. Now, this one is not my most crazy one, but it's definitely one of my more interesting ones, so let's get right into it. So in today's story time, it takes place in, I believe, the 8th grade, kind of midway through the school year. Now, at this time, I cared more about goofing off and being a dumbass more than I cared about my grades. Still kind of goes into now because I'm currently, instead of doing my schoolwork, recording a video. But anyway, but back then I didn't really care at all. So I would take any opportunity to be a dumbass. And this was before many schools would put restrictions on your Chromebooks, like that they gave us to do schoolwork. So I could easily do something on any day we had a Chromebook. And what do you know? Today, after first, second period was all done, we get into third period, we're doing Chromebook work with a substitute teacher. So I emphasize that is because on any day that it's a normal teacher, I'm not going to do nearly as much dumb shit because I'm more likely to get sent to the office. But today we had a teacher who, honestly, I enjoyed pissing off because of how much she pissed me off. She's definitely going to be in many more story times that I do in the future. But we'll call this teacher Miss Michaela. Now, Miss Michaela was definitely an asshole. And the reason I say this is because no matter what you do, something small, something big, she just treats it like it's the end of the world. But anyway, she gives out the Chromebooks, we start doing some work, and I'm sitting next to my friend James. We're going to call him James for the sake of this video anyway, but I was sitting next to James. Now James, he did not give a fuck like me. He enjoyed pissing teachers off, especially if it was for the sake of something funny. So I knew he would be down to do some fuckery. So I get on my Chromebook, halfway through the class is done, we're just vibing. And I'm like, you know what would be funny? And third period in my school, at least, I don't know if it's anywhere else like this, third period, lunch, fourth, and the rest of the day. So we had lunch, and I was like, wanna know what'd be funny? And he's like, what? He's like, if we tried to order Taco Bell on the computers. And I was being a dumbass. I definitely think we shouldn't have done this, because especially with the way we did it. But we did it. So he's like, bro, I don't have a credit card. And I'm like, fuck, I don't either. So I look up on my Chromebook fake credit cards. Literally, that's all I did. Fake credit card, like, generator, I think. And so we're doing that. We're in the front of the class at this point. We started in the back and we moved to the front because we decided to fucking move closer. I don't know what you want me to tell you. But anyway, so we're just dicking off, having a good time. And next thing you fucking know, the teacher's like, hey, what are you guys doing? And I'm like, well, we're getting lunch. And she's like, on a school device? You're not allowed to do that. If you want to do that, not only do you have to do it on your free time when you're in the middle of getting educated, she would talk in the weirdest fucking way, in the middle of getting educated, you have to pay attention in these classes. And I'm like, man, it's just fucking Taco Bell in the last 10 minutes. Calm down. I did swear. They were a little bit more lenient on curse words in my school, but so I knew I could get away with it. So I'm not saying I got in trouble for any of that shit. She's like, oh my god, blah blah, you need to get back to work. I'm like, calm down. And she's like, what are you on? And she looks at it, she sees me, she just reads the top, random credit card generator. She's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm getting a credit card. And she's like, someone else's? What's the word? What's it called? And that's identity fraud. I'm a dumbass. I should have known that right away. That's identity fraud. You can't do that. That's illegal. Oh my god, you're lucky I don't call the police. And I'm like, calm down. You can mind your business. And then she's like, oh my god, wait till the principal hears about this. So at the beginning, I'm just like, oh, she's either not going to do anything or just fucking, we're not going to get in trouble, right? So we go about our day. We didn't actually order the Taco Bell. I kind of just closed the Chromebook and went about my business. And so, I thought that was it. Went to lunch, recess, ate normal food, just hung out for a while. Next thing you know, we're in about, 6th period? A good way through 6th period. And me and James get pulled out. Now, I wasn't concerned at all. I'm going to be honest. I thought it was just some bullshit from the day before, or something else going on. I didn't actually think I was in trouble for any of that shit. But the principal takes us out in the hallway. And next thing you know, right in the hallway, waiting for us too, is the superintendent of the school. And I'm like, oh my god, maybe we is in trouble. I was definitely a little bit more concerned at this point. So I go out in the hall, me and James, start talking to the superintendent, and he's like, so, would you, would you boys like to, tell us what you did today in third period? And I'm just like, oh, you know, we did our work, kind of just hung out near the end of period, goofed off a little, you know, the normal. It's like, alright, so, you didn't try to steal anybody's credit card information? And I'm like, no. And technically, I was telling the truth, because I put in fake credit card generator. So if it gave me real credit cards, that ain't on me. But anyway, so he's just like, alright, so what happened today then? What aren't you telling us? And I'm like, oh, you know, it's not as bad as you think. We used a fake one. It's not real. We didn't actually do anything. It's fine. And he's like, it isn't fine. Trying to steal someone's credit card information is never fine. And I'm like, bro. He was the type of superintendent to just take his, or principal, whichever one. No, it was the principal. Right? Yeah, he was the principal to take his job way too fucking seriously, especially in front of his fucking boss. So he was just going like, oh my god, this is horrific. I can't believe you did. He was treating it like we, you know, tried to bomb the United Nations, which obviously I would never do. I'm too innocent. But anyway, he's just going off on us, complaining all sorts of shit, and I was done with it. I'm like, look, man, you're making a bigger deal than it has to be. Come on, calm down. It's not that big of a deal. And he's like, sorry, don't know why my audio cut out there, but yeah. Anyway, so then James chimes in, starts backing me up like, yeah, man, we didn't actually do it, and it was a fake website. It wasn't anything actually serious. You need to, it's not, you're making it more big than it actually has to be. And then so he's like, look, if you guys just be honest with me, and then accept your punishment, stop arguing, things are going to be a lot easier for you. And I'm like, but we didn't actually do anything wrong. Like, why are we in trouble? We didn't actually go through with it. We said we were, and we were just dicking around. And they're like, well, you tried to do it, which is almost worse. And I'm like, what do you mean? At this point, I'm just fucking freaking out in the hallway, bro. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? Are you crazy? He's like, hey, watch your language with me. Obviously, principal, more of a cunt. But anyway, so he's like, look, just accept your punishments. 2 days ISS. And I'm like, bro, that's fucking stupid. You didn't actually do anything wrong. And he's like, you know what? Fine. 3 days. It's gonna go up for every time you talk back. I'm like, oh my god, fine. So, me, James, we just accept it. Go on about our business. Just get back into class. Like, they weren't gonna put us in midway through the day. So we finished the school day. On our way out the door, I see the teacher. Now, at this point, I'm pissed because I'm in trouble. I'm like, yo, did you tell him what did you tell him? Because he's acting like we actually did anything wrong. He's like, trying to do it is just as bad as doing it. And I'm like, okay, this I probably went too far with this. And I'm like, oh yeah, do you think that's how rape victims feel? You know, it's worse to almost, it's just as bad to almost be raped. Again, I went too far in this. I'll accept that. But at the same time, it's not as bad to jokingly or fake doing something as it is to do something, in my opinion. So anyway, she's talking, like, I'm yelling at her basically on the front steps of the school, and I see the principal, and he's like, do we got a problem here? What's going on? And I'm like, nothing. And I start to walk towards the bus. The teacher's like, so clearly it's not that big a deal if you're willing to just walk away from it. And I'm like, oh, because she was being, bro, I'm telling you, the teachers here really just wanted you to do something. I don't know what it was. They genuinely just wanted you to do something so they'd have an excuse to get you in more trouble. I genuinely feel like they wanted to fight. And so I turn around and I'm like, fuck you. That's all I said. I walk on my bus, and then I get fucking driven back home, get on the bus. Then I have to explain shit to my parents. Not fun moment. It kind of just went from there, you know. I had to go to my fucking ISS, which is kind of how I spent most of my 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade, basically most of my years of school. But, yeah, I kind of just, you know, left it at that, went about my business, had a good old day, just sitting there, very pissed off. But anyway, if there's a moral to this story, it's don't be a dumbass. That's all I gotta say. Just don't be a dickhead, and you won't have to get in trouble like I did. But anyway, it's been your boy Vertex. Have a good day. Actually, real quick, I do want to say, I'm going to try to do better in the future, because, like this, I feel like this story time is going to come out a bit better than the last two. But at the same time, the last two came out shitty, simply because I was rushing it. I had to fucking get off and go to do shit. But anyway, I'm going to try to put out better content now that I have more time But anyway, it's been your boy Vertex. Have a good day.